Hello! Hello everybody, I've done something stupid, so I need to do that. I'm tabbed out again, there we go. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to FS13. Assuming the game wants to load in properly. Do you want to load it? Do you? There we go. I still don't know what's causing my mouse to jump. In this game specifically, it's like specific to FS13, and I'm not sure why. So what we're gonna do to start off with is let's grab this. I get the horrific feeling traffic is disabled. No, it's not. Fantastic. Still don't know why the mouse is being a bit weird. So, you know exactly what's about to happen. Because you guys know in FS17, if you run into the back of traffic, it just stops you. Well, in FS13 you can do that. And look at that! Look at it! He's finding his way back to where he's supposed to be going. Hello, Clay, Glengar, Adiboo. You know, another old trick you could do with the traffic is this: just shove it into the middle of a field somewhere. I do have it kind of, yeah, I've got it successfully trapped. But, you know, you could just take it away, bring it to the middle of a field. Let's say here. And, look. It finds its way back to where it's supposed to go. Isn't that novel? Isn't that amazing compared to FS17, where the traffic is made of cement? Also, it's got a Deutz telehandler, which is hilariously bizarre. What are you witnessing? The glory of FS13 traffic. This is the reason me and Landy want this back. Like, sure, FS17 traffic is technically more advanced. It's easier to do, probably. It's a lot more optimized, but there's something beautiful about being able to just grab cars and steal them. Like this. You jerk. You shall flip for your insolence. Alley-oop. It's you, sir. You're coming with me. This should be interesting. I don't remember ever doing this specifically, but let's drop the car down a hill or down a cliff. Let's see how it. Look at that! Hang on, is this gonna physics? It has physics attached, for goodness sake. Oh my god, I think I've got the car stuck. I've got the car stuck! Ignore the camera just randomly jerking about. I have no idea what's causing it. I wish I did. But it's given up! Like that. I didn't know that was a thing! 4 years later, I discover that's a thing. With the mouse jumping, maybe lower the DPI. Let's do that real quick. That is not the button I wanted. It is this button. Maybe a bit too low. No, it's still jumping. Like, this is my usual DPI. Oh, let's see, DPI. Yeah, it's something with the game. Got any mods installed? Just the Giants Classics pack. So let's do some actual work real quick. Let's get these bales loaded up. Something about this bale trader that's interesting. Because I can talk about absolutely everything in this game. I remember absolutely everything for the most part. I don't remember where exactly the sell points are. But these bales ain't locked in. This isn't an auto-load trader with an auto-load script. This is literally just, it picks the bales up and drops them. I forgot this required cruise control level 1. Hello, brat. Like this... How useful would this be in FS17? Like at the start of the game? I want to, you know, collect the straw from the first harvest, but I don't want to buy a forage wagon. That's something I think needs to happen, Damo. I'm gonna be very, very simple there. Like, conventional bales I think needs to happen in FS19. There's no limit on this trade, you can go to an overflow. No, there was a limit. It was 50 bales, wasn't it? Or something like that. But just, I mean... There's a big difference between how this works and how FS17 everything works. Because kind of in FS17 everything's locked down and has to be done in a very certain way. In FS13, no, it just works the way that it works. I've got a bale stuck under the wheel. Notice how the wheel hasn't just completely jammed over the bale yet. Because that wasn't a thing very often. Which has challenged you to a wheelchair race. That I would like to see. But I mean... I'd love a trailer like this in FS17. That worked. I know there is one. But, I'd love one that worked like this that wasn't just using an auto-load script. Do you think Giants will bring out a classic pack for FS17? Maddox Jess is working on one, but I know it doesn't have a conventional baler. It doesn't have a small square baler. Which is a bit of a shame. I mean, this baler as well. Oh! Perfect! Perfect, perfect, perfect. Okay, change of plan, change of plan, change of plan. Because we just got a mowing mission. Semi-Argon! Away! I know where the golf course is, game. Like, this is... Also, you can use the Semi-Argon for this. As stupid as it sounds, you can. You know, a lot of the model detail is much the same as in FS17. It's just that how everything looks is completely different, and you love the phone feature. I kind of prefer the way things are now. I really do. I think Giants have improved that to no end. I know where I'm going. That's the quickest way. Okay, it's gonna be this way. It said to use the Profi Hopper. It said use a tractor with a mower or an Amazon Profi Hopper. I think one of the tricks I used to use was to have the Profi Hopper just parked down at the golf course for the mowing missions. Lanny and Bill playing on Westbridge. Yeah, unfortunately it was the crap Westbridge. You know, FS15's Westbridge Hills was a lot better. So you can see, can you see? You can see. Up at the top of the screen there's a timer all of a sudden. As the tractor just wonks its way around the map. Hello, the British one. There's a timer. That's the time that you have to complete the mission. I can't remember how long you get to drive over to the mission, but that's how long you get once you get to the mission start point to do the mission. And the thing about FS13 is that there weren't as many brands as there are now. What was my favorite mod map in FS13? I can't remember the name of it. It was a British map, but I can't remember the name of it at all. Yeah, Westbridge Brown. It was hilariously bad. So here's where we need to mow. You can see there's just like a random square of grass that's appeared. There's no way of knowing without hearing it that the mower's on. Oh, cruise control level 2. I'm too used to FS17 way of doing things where you just slam the throttle and... That was level 3, Dave. They have missions in 15. Yes, they did. You have to go to a mission board. And in FS17, the way the missions work is they're contracting missions. They're the contracting fields. So, I mean, the missions have always been in Farm Sim. It's just a case of what form they took. And I think the FS15 missions were good, although very open to exploitation because they were very easily abused. The FS17 missions, I think, work in the narrative of the game. And the FS13 missions are just like, hey, here's some random crap you can do. You know, the missions have improved, and the logic behind them has improved so much over the years. It'd be interesting to see what the missions are like in FS19. It will, because from what I understand, Rakin, who there we go, 5600 just for doing some mowing. Rakin, who was one of the season's guys, is now like tasked with reworking the mission system for FS19 or 21. I'm not sure. But he is tasked with doing that. Will I ever upload to YouTube? I have no idea. I think this is Cruise Control 2. This needs... But this tractor can't go much higher than the maximum speed of the baler anyway. Let's just do Cruise Control 2 to be sure. But like this is the equipment that I always used. Now I can use the original Profi Hopper. I know. Like this is how I used to play FS13 back in the day. And I'm kind of challenging myself with however long that I decide to do the Blast from the Past stuff. Because I may well do another video. I'm kind of thinking about challenging myself to only use stuff Giants made. Oh yeah, another thing that you can't do in this compared to FS17, you can't empty the baler, so those bales, they're just stuck there forever. Until you do some more, bales. They're just part of the baler now. Please drive around the golf cart. I did in the video, Foxtrot. The downside of the golf carts is they're slow as hell. Can I do Cruise Control level 2 on this? Let's do what it suggests. Cruise Control level 1. You're the only one playing FS13 today then? No, I think this is... If you're bored of FS17, guys, and you want to play some Farm Sim, but just not FS17, try FS13 or FS15. Try one of the older games. you might be pleasantly surprised. Because I was expecting to just get the same feeling I did last time I played FS13, which was, oh god, this is crap and I never want to play it again. But no. Veils are now locked. Because it's in transport mode. FS08, yeah, just go back and play one of the old Farm Sim games. See ya, Brad. This is FS19 Early Access. No, I'm not even going to make that joke. They lag too much on your PC. Wow. It's just... Should probably just drive the Profi Opera out of the way, actually, can't I? Or shouldn't I? Because... yeah. Hello, Logan and Jack. Playing FS15 at the moment, finished Farmer. Very nice. Let's unload this. I don't think it's a multi-stage reload or unload. It is not. It's X to stop unloading. Notice there's no obtrusive, like, sold bail, sold bail, sold bail, sold bail, sold bail, sold bail. No, that's not a thing in FS13. Just crashed after tabbing out. Well, that happened. I think that used to happen anyway, Blash. That tractor mod. None of this is mods. All of this is default in-game original FS13 goodness. Also, I don't know if Streamlabs is 100% working because I was testing it last night and it was working on, like, when I told it to send a test alert, but it didn't work any time else, so I don't know if it's working correctly at the moment. We're gonna use any mods, just the stuff Giants made. That's all I have installed. Spac Farm. I don't want to show off like all the mods that were in FS13 because that's completely different from showing off the game in my eyes. So let's get that running there. You just get all the Crone Tippers, join them up to make a road train. I mean, that used to be a thing. You used to be able to have insane road trains of stuff. I know you still can, but there was a lot more stuff you could road train back in the day. Let's buy this field. 102,000, so the field values are completely different to what they are today. Let's get the hats on the cedar. We'll just have that running in the background for the rest of the stream. In fact, let's get the hats on the cedar that came with it in the pack. Hello, NM Farmer. Now we get to find out if the alerts are working properly because I was tweaking them the other day. Or yesterday. It's great to use... Yes, it does work. NM Farmer with the $2 super chat. Yeah, it is nice to use the quote-unquote extinct machinery. I do have a lot of... Yeah, I do have a lot of money. That's intentional. That's just so that I can show off whatever I want to show off. I forgot these curbs just hate everything. You weren't forced to have chickens. You were forced to have the one, which was the, yeah, very small ones. Yeah, I'll fix that. That was more just to see... I'm kind of iterating the alerts at the moment, so there's going to be some derpy times coming up. In fact, I can do that right now. Hang on. Is it this? Yes. Let's just expand that to that and pop it there. That might well be huge next time. So let's get this seating. Was there a... Genuinely can't remember. Was there a thing for the M66? No, there was not. There was, however, trailed You know, you might remember this thing, the Pottinger Mix 6, because it keeps making appearances. Also, all the telehandlers are located in the front loader section, which I got very confused by. FS17 chickens are basically, you will not buy these, so here you go. Yeah, I don't like the way chickens are in FS17. I think that's a mistake Giants made. Let's see some. Because I'm probably never going to use this field. Let's seed some corn and do some silage if we ever get this field done. You have a Pottinger Mix 6? Has that decided it's finished work, even though it's done like 2 passes? Oh no, it's confused by the baler. Also, holy crap, is it doing a bad job. Hello, Bullabell. What year is this? Yeah. I figured, seeing as I'm a bit bored of FS17, I've been pretty open about being bored of FS17. I figured, do you know what? Let's go back in time. Let's revisit the past. Oh my god, I forgot how slow the animations were in FS13. FS17 that'd just pop up and down straight away, but FS13 no, it had to do a little animation first. But let's have a look at the tractors. Because the brands are hilariously different. Like Kramer's there, which isn't in there anymore. Yeah, Happy Dave is much better. Like Sammy still there, Burr still there, Lindner still there. The Deutz Agrotrons are gone. Hurleyman Lamborghini still there. Yeah, Schluter, that's not in the game anymore. And you notice that all the tractors are Deutz. And you got the quad tracks. Well, quad track and Steiger. This thing, which was the worst DLC ever brought out for FS17 or FS15. The Kramer, the Farmall from Platinum, and then you get the stuff that you start seeing again now. The Puma 160, the Magnum with dual wheels, and then you get the Ursa stuff, which is just completely gone now. You know. The C45, the C330, this stuff. I'd like to see this stuff come back. You know, I'd like to see... Well, I think the way front loaders work now are better, but... This thing, the 66, I want that back so badly. The 3 different types of axial flows. Because there weren't options back then. You know, completely different trailers from what we have now. The Marshall was actually a mod, or was actually a DLC. You know, Horsch was there way back when. Very few brands. Oh, Bureau are gone, yes. They left in FS15. Only the 3 plows, but a crap ton of sewing machines because there was a DLC pretty much dedicated to them. This thing by default, the Pantera. An in-game side-spreading manure spreader. A Marshall slurry tank. Keep in mind that like a lot of this is DLC equipment, but just not showing up. I need to buy that. The Big M. A single row windrower, 2 row, 4 row, or 4 rake, and then 6 rake because they couldn't quite get 8 back then. Another single row. I mean, look at the size of this thing! 17 meters for a windrower. All the loading wagons you'll ever need. The bale trailers, which were atrocious. The auto stack. The Krone Comprima. Remember that from Stradon? How about something like this from Stradon? Big Pack 1290. You know, these two are now in Stradon. They're bought separate from the game. Marshall BC32 in game. This is the first time we got 4-foot bales back in this game. The Z594 and a bale wrapper. This is the game that introduced silage bales. And the 3 pieces of feeding equipment. Just the 3 weights. 600, 1000 and 1500 kilos. Back in the day it was just a header trailer, water tank and fuel tank. These 2 came in later as DLC, both in platinum. And then you got the animals which you could buy in the shop. How novel. You have of course the windmill, solar panel, greenhouses, and bees. I think the bees are now gone. The game's now a mod. Yeah, a lot of these stuff is now mods. You know, all these... This is a DLC, a free DLC. The Classics Pack. From Giants. I mean... A front loader with a capacity of 500 litres from... You know, because that's the way Giants wanted to do it. Hilariously, there was no way of feeding the animals with the equipment in this, but... I mean... I guess you could have used the loading wagon. But there was no feed mixer. Yeah, I'll have to come over and fix this in a minute. How's the hats doing? Yep. Let's flip some more traffic. How's Dave today? Dave is good. Don't understand why they got rid of Crone, Windrose and Baders. License. The licensing changed. Hello, Irish Agri Contracting. Mazoraz. Big M should never left. I wish it didn't. Or at least, like, I wish they brought in a Big M2 or Big M400 series. Let's turn up the music some more, but it is a bit quiet. There's still Chrome Tippers in the game. Yeah! And the Big X. Don't forget the Big X. There we go. And look at the AI traffic! It's not on a road because I've taken it off the road, but it's still driving. It's finding its way back to the road. It's doing pathfinding. It's being an AI. I mean, this is something that I really want back in the game. Is the traffic you could actually play about with. I know it was one of the main things that Giants got made fun of. Because people just kept picking up the traffic and dropping it in the river. But I mean, that was part of the fun. That was for when you get bored of farming and you want to do something stupid. Oh yes. The tail end was terrible, didn't even have 4-wheel steer. Yeah. Let's see what else I can do. Oh, I know. I know what I can do. I can grab the Case Steiger and something that's only recently come back in, the Amazon Condor. We'll go see the really big field with the Case Steiger, which I don't think is in the game anymore, but you can see the quad track hasn't really changed too much. No dirt animations. Yeah, there was no animations really for anything back in the day. It just kind of magically changed textures. Yeah. No options of single wheels on the Steiger, by the way. Just dual wheels only. Why am I playing FS13? Why not? Why are you watching me play FS13 if you're gonna ask why I'm playing FS13? I actually got the DLC despite the fact that I said it was pointless. That's why I said it's pointless, because I bought it. the most pointless DLC Giants ever came out with. Probably should have refilled on seeds before coming out here, but the seeder wasn't in 15. It was, but as a mod. Wrong button. I think they swapped where the buy and like back buttons are. It's really good to go back in time just to see how blessed, how genuinely spoiled we are now. It's back in FS17. Yep, it took a game off. But like, it is nice to see just how spoiled we really are now, and how yeah, some people's tantrums maybe, I don't know. Yeah. It kind of proves the farm sim has changed a lot in the past 4 years. $5,000 liters should be enough to do what I want to do. 6,000 will definitely be enough. Let's eat some canola. Joe, don't start spamming the chat asking people to play multiplayer with you. This is your favorite farm sim. This map is brilliant. This is probably still my favorite farm sim overall. I know that I say, you know, oh, FS17 is so much better. Oh, yeah, you gotta... Haha, I don't want the cedar to fall off the back, do I? Hello, Brad. This is just... It's nice to go back and see how things used to be. If I can remember my favorite map from back in the day, I might actually do a quick little series on it. Wonder how many multiplayer servers there are now in FS13. That'd be an interesting thing to find out. But just the... Like, there's no animations, it's just like the cedar runs over the ground and the texture magically changes. There's no... There are no particle effects other than a little bit of smoke. It's just... Here, magic seeds. It just happens. And it's a bit of a shame that... Yeah, that's the way that it worked in FS13. Yeah, it is nice to go through the old maps. I know my favorite for 13 wasn't Coldbra. That much I will say, because I didn't play Coldbra in FS13. At this point I don't want to, because I'm too used to the way that it played in 15 and 17. I'll have a troll through and see if I can find my old favorite and maybe revisit that. See you, so. But like seeding at 16 miles an hour in a quad track, that's unheard of. That's ridiculous. Yeah, there was no harvesting animations, it was just like the crop magically disappeared in front of the harvester. There's no animations really for anything, it's just, this is the absolute basic, well it works, here's some stuff. Yeah, I do distinctly remember Coldbra releasing. I just never touched it because I already had my favorite map decided on, and I was one of those people who only ever needed one map back in the day. Because I kept restarting it over and over and over and over and over again. Hello, Kieran. Did I do a series on my favorite map? Nope. You forgot how bad FS13 was. Yeah. FS15 was quite bad too, I mean, and FS17 is still reasonably bad. But when you compare them to each other, I mean, you can see how far the game has come. I mean, No animations, no tip anywhere, no forestry, no pigs. Just the basic crops. No sugarcane, which is probably a blessing in disguise. What mods? None. At the moment. I don't really plan on modding this game. I want to play it vanilla. Because I never really did back in the day. I just immediately started downloading the worst mods in the world. And if I do throw mods in, it'll probably just be from NI Modding, EuroDZ, and FSUK mod team. Because they're the easiest to find, because they're on FSUK. I need to figure out what's causing this camera glitch, because that's really getting on my nerves now. Was my favourite map Spring Hill? No, I never rated that map. I never enjoyed it. Nice design map, but it just... It was too giantsy back in the day, and I played mod maps to get away from what Giants were doing and have a completely different feel, so I maybe didn't play the greatest mod maps. You kind of want to play FS13 now? Go ahead. You've still got it somewhere. Get it installed. If you got it on Steam, get it downloading. What mod? Did you think this was all mods, Canon? Or were you asking like what mods from NI Modding and stuff? This is nice to kind of go back and look at how the game used to be. Yeah, you thought... No. If FS17 looked like this, I probably wouldn't be playing it. Because that would literally just be Giants going nowhere and releasing the same game over and over and over, like so many people think they do. Music's now too loud in my ears. So I hit the volume up button. Well done, Dave. Look at how slow the animation was. There was a huge delay between me pressing the button and the cultivator actually rising. You're looking at your farms frozen in time. I don't have that luxury, I guess. Oh yeah, I forgot this was a thing. You could cultivate backwards in FS13. Because of course you could. Because the cultivator was literally just... There was no directionality to it. It was literally just like a work area trigger, and that's how it worked. Do I remember the Ferguson system? That's one of the few mods I would probably download and install, because that thing was bae. You could also cultivate grass. Yes, you could cultivate grass backwards if you wanted to. I think a lot of the changes Giants made were for the better. I think what I want to do is I want to show something that's really changed. Trees look better in FS13. I disagree. I think the FS17 trees look so much better than the ridiculous lime green nonsense back in FS13. What I want to do is I want to grab the... where is it? Quad track. Bush Tiger, whatever. I'm gonna bring this down that hill over there. Yeah, I used to be able to delete grass and stuff as well. But what I want to do is I want to seed some... I can't seed corn with this, can I? Let's seed some grass then. Colors are a bit awful, but they look better. And they're hilariously a lot less optimized. There's a lot more polys in these trees than there are in FS17 trees. Do I want to see this in... No, I prefer to do it in corn, so let's... get the horse maestro. Get that purchased. And... let's get something else from Platinum. Because you get to see the stuff that was kind of being brought in towards the tail end of FS13. Some of which you'll recognize now, some of which you won't. So let's reset the seeder. The way reset used to work is a lot better, I think. But let's get... let's get the Magnum 340, because this I know had what I want to show off on it. You know Platinum a lot. Yeah, it was kind of FS15 light, in a way. If you look at the smoke, it's just kind of a particle effect rising out. But if I go over to this, you can hopefully see it's got the very, very beginnings. I don't know if you can see that very well. It's got the very beginnings of the smoke we have now, with the distortion effect on it. It's not very advanced, but it is the beginnings of it, and you can definitely see it now. You know, the distortion effect on the smoke is there back in FS13, but this is the start of it. This is where basically FS17 started, and everything we have now. You can see the tractors are no real way shiny at all. They're very flat looking. I never noticed this in the past, but they are very flat looking. The beacons, if I go up here, you can see it's just kind of a circle of light that wobbles. Let's get this seeded in corn. Stop, you get... Yeah, the hired workers didn't exactly wait for the equipment to be ready to go, they just went. So I want to do a bit of silage later. UI looks very messy compared to F17. It was. Let's get something else that would have been DLC back in the day. Let's get something that's not even in the game anymore, an Ursus. Something that hasn't been in the game since FS13, the Ursus 8014H. Let's get a fertilizer spreader. The ZAX 1501, which keeps getting converted into the game. Yeah, look at that. Look at how tiny this thing is compared to the Big M. Everything just looks a bit dull, yeah. Hello, drum lover. I hope you guys don't think I'm like ripping on this game because I want, you know, because I just want to pretend like FS17 is the greatest. I'm showing you guys the limitations this game had. You know, and showing you what's improved, because sometimes I forget what's improved. You can see this doesn't have the distortion effect on the smoke. The days of FS13, where everything was flat. And physics were questionable. But you can see that the fertilizer spreader doesn't open up. It's not a thing anymore. The spreader looks a bit high up. It's just that this tractor is tiny, TMCC. Physics, what are they? Yeah, this used NVIDIA's PhysX system, which, I'll be honest, never really worked at all, ever. There's the fertilizer spreading animation and magic wet ground. Still a thing. The FS13 ball beacon, yeah. These things were atrocious. There was no real detail in them at all. That's the thing that you'll see as a theme, or that you might have seen as a theme so far, is like everything is kind of similar to FS17, sure, there's the same kind of base there. But when you look at it in a bit more detail, or when you start looking for the detail, it's just not there. Well, best farm sims and mods, yeah. That always annoyed me. The missions just popping up and saying, "Hey, you got a mission thing." I can't remember how to turn them off. Now please try to do bale handling. No, because I remember how bad FS13 bales were. That's one thing that I'm definitely not going to do because I don't want to get angry. Couldn't even hire a worker for FERT. Yeah, you had to do all this manually. I mean, people complain about, oh, FS17 is so boring, why can't you hire a worker to this, why can't you hire a worker to that, why can't you hire a worker to... What, your back's in the pause menu. Oh, mission frequency. Thank you. You hope they put texture. I'd like to see textures for fertilized and wet ground and like slurry and manure in FS19. I think that'd be a really nice addition. Just look at that! Look at, like, there's no real depth to anything. There's no normal files. It's just flat textures and everything. You have to go. Your internet can't deal with being an internet today. That's fine, farming man. That happens sometimes. Let me know if there's weird lag today, by the way, because I haven't changed anything from yesterday's stream. So if there's a weird lag spike, I know it's probably my internet. You finished Nier today? Oh, Yanis. Start watching, like, I don't know what games you'd like. Try having a look at, like, if you like, strategy games, have a look at a Stellaris Let's Play. You might enjoy that. Which I was playing Stellaris again last night as my weird fox elephant looking things. Which I think I've literally called them the Elefox. The Elefox Authority, which is not exactly a nice place to live. They've got a dictatorship going on. See the texture? Yeah, you see the texture back in this day was just a different colored cultivated texture. You know, if ever you think the Giants are being lazy with the textures now, you get bored after 5 episodes. Fair enough. If you ever think Giants are being lazy with textures now, look at what they used to be like. I mean, granted, you could, back in the day, link all these fields together. You go into GE, delete those 2 trees, and link all these together. Hello, Llama King. Still to finish the Far Cry 5 Let's Play. Fair enough, Giannis. I've been kind of getting back into watching iRacing streams again lately. I don't see myself resubscribing to iRacing unless Twitch starts taking off. Because I'd really kind of... I wouldn't want to do it on YouTube because I get really salty with myself. And I do start swearing at myself quite often. Fertilizing Field 43 on Oak Field. Fertilizing May is very nice. If you're enjoying the stream today, guys, hit the like button, hit subscribe. You know, the more likes we get, the more likely it is that I'll do FS13 again. You can do, yeah, you can do that now with chainsaws, and like a stump grinder. In fact, the stump grinder would probably be more convenient. But back in FS13, there was no forestry. There was a forestry mod, sure, but there was no chainsaws. So you couldn't just go in, cut down the tree, and go. I do want to, once I've got this done, show you my absolute favourite thing that I think 100% needs to come back into FS19. And I know some maps have it now, but I'd like to see it come back by default. Because it's just... it needs to come back. There's a bit of charm missing from the game now, I think. Feel free to guess what that might be in chat. Just for funsies. Guess what I'm talking about. What needs to come back that is in FS13 but not in FS17? 10-20 minutes of work, mess with traffic, back to work and repeat. Pretty much. But guess, other than the traffic, what needs to come back? In my eyes. Like, other than the traffic, the Profi Opera, and the Big M. Move the traffic. I managed to get a car stuck earlier and you missed it. I didn't know that was a thing. Hello, Nick. Ursus. I'd like to see Ursus come back because I see a lot of Ursus tractors around here. There's an Ursus, there's a Zetter dealership, but there's a lot of Ursus stuff around here. A lot of Zetters too. But it's not Ursus. I'd like to see the Baler come back because it's a really neat design. Mr. Traffic. Yeah, FS13 had that too, Llama King. I think that's what a lot of people did. Nick's playing FS17 right now. Very nice, Nick. I normally play FS17, but I think it's nice to... I was on cruise control level 1 doing all that. I was wondering why I was going so slowly. So can anybody all guess what I want to come back? The red open station track. That's the Sammy Argon. Conventional bales. Weren't in FS13 by default. I know that the Giants later brought out the Classics pack which had conventional bales, but not them. And of course I have been saying FS19 needs a conventional baler. I'd like to see like a Lellywelger or something. Granted, you know, it's a mod from ARM Team at the moment, and there's like 17 different versions of the Lellywelger doing the rounds. But it's not a conventional baler, it's not a small square baler. It is, I think, currently located over here. Behind that ridge. A very convenient ridge on Hagenstead. No crashing. I'll crash if I want to. I hope it's located over here currently. I know that it does the rounds occasionally. I can't remember what time it does it. But over here is my absolute favorite thing from FS13 that needs to come back. Because it's adorable. In theory it's part... Yes, there it is. There it is. The milk truck! Like... that just needs to come back into the game. They went to so much detail with it as well. I mean, it's a Rolo truck, which I don't know if it's a real brand, but it's got, you know, a number plate. It's galvanized steel. It's got a very basic galva steel texture. You know, it's a lot more detailed than a lot of the AI traffic. It just needs to come back in. Yes, everybody caught to when I started driving towards the milk factory, or the milk place thing. My favorite map is Whisper. It's a nice little bit of immersion instead of the milk mysteriously disappearing at midnight and giving you money immediately. They could use a man truck very easily. What was the point of it? The point of the milk truck? It drove around on the map. I'm genuinely not kidding you. The milk truck used to go around the map. Like, drive from the milk place over there, down here, up the hill by the farm, collect the milk from the cows, and drive back. And once it got back to the milk place, then you got your money for your milk. Sorry, Brandon Merck. Thank you, Foxtrot. But, like, that... just imagine if that was in the game today. Like, how much immersion it would be. Like having a man truck, or something like that, you know, just a small detail like that needs to come back in. Hello, Kieran O'Martin. Yeah, I'm always talking about the small details that need to come back. That's one of them, the milk truck. Because having the milk mysteriously disappear, even if it comes in from off the map. Think you could do something like that on a map? Yeah, but with scripts. You'd need a script to do it now. Which means that the majority of maps wouldn't do it because you couldn't get that on console. Realistic fart and slur uses as well, yeah. Mappers got a creameries or something. Or even just like have it come in from off the map as part of the AI traffic, you know, have a milk truck come in, collect the milk and drive off, because I mean, not every farm is near a creamery. And actually over here's another thing that's just a nice little bit of immersion on the map, and I completely forgot about it. So... oh, that's the quad track. I thought that the other case I managed to get stuck. Yeah, there's one of the weaknesses of the FS13 hired worker is it does not like trailed equipment at all. Hello, Justas Lubinas. But another cool bit of immersion is over there, behind those pine trees or fir trees or whatever they are. There's a campsite that you can go into and drive around, and there's deck chairs and stuff. And like, it's one of those cool little bits of immersion that Giants have just kind of done away with. Has the hired worker given up? Because you should be a lot more done with this field than you actually are. Or were you confused by the traffic being there? There's a Bentley driving in the town. Yeah, there was a nice mix of traffic. They used to give up if you didn't help them in time. They still do. I knew how to say your name, I guessed. There were Bentleys in the traffic, Audis, Mercedes. All just debranded. I mean, you could see what they were just by looking at them. But they were debranded big cars. Yeah, that's a Bentley there. I think that car behind it is a Toyota. It looks like a Toyota RAV4. Could be a Land Cruiser, actually, yeah. There's a Renault Espace. No, it's probably not a Renault Espace, but for the purposes of the game, it's a Renault Espace. You're having real looking traffic. Can flip your tractor occasionally. I completely forgot that would happen. It's the little details. It's the little details that have been taken away now that I'm kind of focusing on that need to come back. The milk truck, the traffic that's just debranded real cars, or cars that look real at least. And you know, the little tiny bits of immersion in the maps, like in Hagenstadt particularly. Westbridge Hills didn't really have all that much in terms of little details of immersion that just kind of added to the maps and made them feel a bit more alive. So I always say Hagenstadt's the best map Giants made because it's got those. Why am I not playing FS17? Because I'm bored of FS17 right now. I've played FS17 almost every day for the last nearly 2 years and I'm bored. I got you started in PharmaSim. I'm sorry for that. What's the one thing in FS19 if I had, it'd make me happy? Can I only choose the one? Because there's like 3 things that make me really happy. One would be the Profi Hopper coming back full time. One would be FS13 Traffic coming back full time. And one would be conventional square bales and equipment for that. So I think of the 3, the one that would make me happiest to be the conventional square baling equipment. Because I feel like that's something the game is missing very, very... Like, it's an early game thing that's just not there. And it'd be nice to see it come back. Orchard farming. See, I'm looking at stuff that was in the game before that isn't. Because conventional square bales were a thing in FS11. Orchard farming was never really a thing other than the FS15 mod, which I'm genuinely surprised nobody's remade that mod yet. But I think small square bales, like all the stuff the Giants had in the game before and removed. Conventional bales. It's to me it's a no-brainer. It's like, why isn't this in the game? Why did Giants make the call to remove the small square bales? Because you could have so much equipment to do with them. You could have a bale sled, you could have a bale grab, you could have you know, smaller bale trailers that you don't need to have the big one for the small square bales. You could just solidify, you know, you could basically, with the grab feature in FS17, which presumably will come into FS19, you could just have a trailer, a dump trailer for bales. And just throw the bales into the trailer, stack them up by hand later. And in terms of like later game equipment that you could still use with conventional bales, you could get we'll say especially with horses coming in, you could get a bale ripper where you make, we'll say, big hay bales, and you want to give them to the horses, which will only take, in my perfect world, will only take small bales, because primarily in real life you'd only give some horses small squares. When you get a bale ripper, then you break the big bale down, it goes into this machine, it breaks down the big bale and turns it into however many small bales, rebales it. Also, I know the hard workers got stuck again. Just the pickup bed, yeah. I mean, there's so much that could be done just with small bales. Just one small thing could bring a lot to the game. Hestons as well, yeah, that's something I'd like to see. I'd like to see the full range of I love how dumb the hired workers were. I'd love to see like the full range of bales. So yeah, Hestons, conventionals, the existing kind of I guess standard squares or big bales. Yeah, I guess they're quadrant size bales. But you know, stuff like that just needs to. The devil's in the details. And I think like for an adding things to game point of view, maybe large rounds, they were in FS13, believe it or not. They were taken out Adiboo because I guess most people were complaining that nobody really makes the big round bales and the physics on them were a bit crap, because the physics on everything in FS13 was a bit crap. But you know, just the way the game's played over the last 4 years, the way the way you could play has changed significantly, and sometimes for the better, sometimes for the worse. Let's go ahead and have a look at the campsite, just for funsies. Was there a golf cart at the campsite? I can't remember. I don't think so. Let's go ahead and have a look. I think I used to park a profile hopper down here as well, because there was an area that you could mow down here, an area or two. But just like, this is one of these little detailed areas that are just gone from the game. A little bit of immersion. That I really feel needs to come back into Farm Sim, where chance add things to the map that don't necessarily need to be there. You know, there's no need for there to be a golf course in this map. There's no need for a campsite, but they're there because number one, they make sense for the missions. Number two, you know, it just adds to the life of the map. 3 on the map. Yeah, there's one at the golf course. In fact, there's one, there's another, and the third is down there. You can just see it in the distance. But you know, it's these little details, the golf carts that you can drive. You can hop in the golf cart and drive around the golf course. I mean, why is this necessary? It's not, but it's there anyway. I just realized, by the way, the golf cart wheels are attached to literally nothing. They're just on a hovering magic axle. Like, there's no need for this. There's no rhyme, no reason for golf carts to be in a farming game, but it's nice to have them in anyway. As a little Easter egg. thought I was about to sneeze, so I muted the mic. Yeah, this is stuff that I don't know if it needs to come back to golf carts specifically, but just little things, you know, that maybe aren't necessary for the game to work, but add to the enjoyment. I just need to check on everything real quick. This guy's finished. Can I can't remember how to turn off withering. Don't think you could. Sim's house, aka the caravan. I mean, you drive around the map, you see so much that would be nice to be in FS17 or FS19. Looking forward. And it's a bit of a shame that they're not. That's actually... You guys are probably going to hate me for this. Let's get a few sheep and use the trophy hopper for what it was most useful for. Unfortunately, to do this, I'll need to drive the trophy hopper over to the sheep. Because there's no low loaders in FS13, you might have noticed. You can't turn withering off. Yeah, I think there was a way, but I can't remember how to do it. Let's actually buy, like... let's buy like 100 sheep. Go to the shop, get the blue bale trailer and load onto it. I mean, I could, but then I wouldn't be able to mow on the way over. To preload the trophy hopper. This is its max speed, by the way. Like 6 miles an hour is flat out. Driving off a cliff into the bale trailer. I mean, that works too, I guess. Can I buy that tractor that looks kind of like a Mercedes truck? Drum Lover, I have no idea what you're talking about. Hope FS19 doesn't have rigid hitches. I mean, it probably will. But I mean, you know, there's so much that's missing from FS17 that is in FS13, and vice versa. You know, it does go both ways. Where are the sheep? They're off to the right, okay. It's red. Do you mean the Schluter? Oh, do you mean the Unitrack? No, I don't. I might buy that later, like in time. Was that yes to the Schluter or yes to the Unitrack? Hey, Spencer. So this is full, which is good. I will get a tractor over in a minute to just seed up a grass field, and I will get the Unitrack. Because I just realised the weird sounding one. They both sound weird. But I will use the Unitrack. The China 7. That's not a thing, drum lover. Not the Schluter, okay.
Who did this? Who the freak ate my snack pack?
Do I have any need? I don't really have a need to get the Schluter. Is the thing. Such speed from the Pro Hopper. Such incredible speed. We will eventually get to the sheep. It was an old tractor that actually looked old and used. Yeah, that, I mean, again, things that are in FS17 or FS13 that FS17 and moving forward FS19 probably need is old tractors that actually look old. Like, it's great getting so many mods and an upcoming DLC from LXJS of old equipment. But a lot of it just looks new. A lot of it looks, you know, restored and brand new. And that's fine too, but it's nice to have old stuff that looks old at the same time. Instead of just everything magically being shiny and new and... Came back to good old 13. Yeah, I did. Mach 10 kilometers an hour. Hello, Zari as well. But yeah, that music is getting on my nerves. You'd like to have an old skin for the T-dubs? I think everybody would. Like, I think if Matt was to redo them, maybe have an old variant. That'd be really nice. Still don't know what's causing the weird glitch with the camera. But look at how much room the sheep have on this map. Oh yeah, the profile can unload all the way over there. Let's grab the Buer. I don't have any mods Spac Farm. I'm pretty sure I've said that 6 or 7 times during the course of this stream, and I'm pretty sure I've said it to you already. I don't have any mods. I've intentionally gone without mods. Now if I go onto a mod map, which I'm kind of tempted to do, and do like a shortish series on it. Hello Matthew, how's it going? It's going well. How's my day? Going well. How's the weather? I have no idea. Well, what's it like outside? Cloudy. Because I want to show off how the grass was seeded back in the day. It's fine, Spac Farm, it just... Like, telling the same person the same thing multiple times gets a bit annoying. Gets old very quick. I think the Big M... The Big M could do swath deposit, couldn't it? So you could just pick the grass straight up. Today's forecast with Dave. Yes, as he looks out the window to see what the weather is. Like, that's literally how I know what the weather's like. I look out the window. So during the winter, no, I have no idea. Because it's dark. During the summer, there's a good chance I'll be able to look out the window and see what the sky looks like. I forgot a word there. I might do some bales over here as well. And look at that! There's a field up there that's actually got a brick wall separating it from everything else. If the window's wet, it's raining. Or cold. Because this house isn't very well insulated at all, so... When was the last time I went out? I don't know. Looks out the window. Today's weather will be cloudy, with a chance of meatballs. But just look at how they've done this. I mean, I know exactly how it's done now, but back in the day, I thought that was amazing that they had the brick wall separation there. In reality, what I know now is that there's actually, that's just a model. That's kind of being run over the top. Can I not? Oh, I was starting too far back. Why is that one wheel not turning, by the way? There we go. That's really odd that the one wheel isn't turning. Welcome to old school FS13, where the grass literally just deleted the field. So once you seed grass, there's no way of going back without, getting the field going again. Or without a plow, I guess. Let's play with the traffic. Seeding the other way would make more sense. I know, but that's the way the three-wheel tractor wants to do it. Oh my god, I've actually grabbed this completely. Yes, come with me, car. Oh no! How's this guy going? Good. You could just cultivate it up? Nope, you had to plow. This is now... You have to plow to get rid of this. Show the mowers in the shop, okay? Got the Profi hopper, side mower, front mower, twin butterfly mowers for the rear, and the Big M. That's all you had. That's all you had back in the day. Speaking of the Big M, let's get this going down to the sheep. Can this thing do... Yeah, it can. Or it did. Buffer? I'm really not sure if that's YouTube being an idiot or my internet being an idiot. There's something derping and I'm not sure what it is. Is it saving 15? Yeah, 17 is the one... 17 is where the new spec grass came in, and it's so much better. Hello, Matthew. Everything's fine on your end. Ah, it might just have been your internet, witchy. The difference in how everything works. This is Everton. Hello, darling. Kenny. I'm not even going to try and pronounce the rest of your name because I'll probably get it horrifically wrong. Let's mow this area here. I think actually I need to go full reverse here. Oh yes, the old lime green grass. I completely forgot about this. The grass... Yeah. This is the old grass windrow texture. How gloriously terrible is that? Again, no particle effects, no animations for this. It's just kind of dropping the horrific pine green colored grass. I'm not... Like that... Or spring green is what it's called, isn't it? It's just... That is not a nice colour. No matter how you want to call it. Or what do you want to call that color? It is not a nice color. Let's not make the FS19 jokes, guys. I know it's tempting, but let's not. Oh, I forgot how horrific that color was. This used to be like the height of farm sim technology. Like, this horrific spring green grass was all you got. That was it. You dealt with the ridiculously kind of blue-green grass for whatever reason. Which, if you notice, is a completely different colour to the grass that you're mowing. I should set up an online game. How about no? Good grass it just appears and it's the most horrific colour known to man. Was it in tractors? Was the unit track? Yes. For some reason, this is in tractors. So 119,000 for this thing, but you could get a forage module and the world's tiniest trailer for 2.5 grand. Like, this is the most pointless DLC Giants ever released. And people complain about the stuff that gets brought out now. Welcome back, Yuso. Can I get this? Hey. Like, people complain about the DLCs that come out now, yet this is a genuine DLC for FS13. I always wondered how the forage module in this thing worked, so... Is it just... Of course it does. No fold or unfold, no mouse controls, just turns on and off. Sometimes I forget just how bad FS13 was. Yeah, this thing can drive at like 30 miles an hour, which back in the day was fast. 30 miles an hour was basically the game, like the highest speed you could get in game without stuff starting to go wrong. Fast tracks were not very good in FS13. Then you get tractors that can go 50-60 miles an hour because, of course, they were. And they were even worse. I know fast tracks can, in theory, go 50 miles an hour, but, I mean, stuff that could go fast... This isn't a physics engine optimized for fast vehicles. The trucks were... And I distinctly remember this, the trucks were a nightmare to do anything with. It's cruise control level 2. Still don't have drive control, Dave. I don't know why you keep hitting space. Still better than some farming games coming out nowadays, yeah? I mean, that's the problem, isn't it? There's no real rival in the market because everybody else is kind of still basing their games on how FS13 worked. And trying to innovate based off of what FS13 did, because... Or FS15 even. And, you know, that's great and all, but FS17's a thing and it's innovated in its own way, and FS19's going to be a thing that's going to innovate even more. And, you know, it's not going to go well for them. One more thing that is in FS17 that isn't in FS13, I think it was a mod for FS15, dynamic fill planes. There's no dynamic to this, it just kind of fills from the bottom up, and that's your lot. That said, look at how much grass I actually did mow! Holy crap! Like, this is going to be about 10,000 litres. More. And that's without me going back and picking up the bits that I've missed. You know, this a lot of stuff that back in the day was really innovative. This is not one of them. This is not something that is innovative at all. It's just kind of something that was there. And got a problem, Discord. Drum Lover, I'm kind of busy right now, Drum Lover. I don't know if you've noticed, but I'm kind of doing a stream right now. Do you know what? I think this might well be the first time I've ever used this thing. Because I had the DLC and never found a use for it until now. Later, you mean? Okay. Let me know when Landy's going live, guys. Please, if you don't mind. So the sheep are full. And was it in statistics? Was the animals? Yeah. Yeah, everything's in kind of weird places compared to where it is today. Well, that's them all sorted out. And Landy should be going live in a moment. You got a big problem with Oakfield. Okay. You know, I think I'm gonna call the stream here. I think here's as good a place as any to call this. Oh, this thing has four-wheel steer, I've just noticed. Ah. This may well have been the first Giants vehicle to have four-wheel steer, other than, like, wheel loaders. And articulated stuff. And is it just me, or is it getting a bit dirty? You enjoy this one? Yeah, it was fun. It's nice to go back in time a bit. Well, that is going to do it for today, guys. Hope you enjoyed. I'll leave you by saying I've been RainbowDave. You've been watching Farming Simulator 2013. Until next time, stay safe. And goodbye.
Bye, have a great time. Bye, have a great time.